Hello and welcome to MML Projects and Coaching. I'm William Newbury and I'll be your host through today's short training video. Today we're going to be looking at RAID or Radar. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go. So today's training will be structured as such. We'll have a look at the overview of Radar, a risk, assumptions, issues, dependencies, and then we'll finish off on decisions and actions. So let's start with an overview of RAID or Radar. What does RAID stand for? So RAID is an acronym that spells out a specific technique used in project management. RAID stands for risks, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. Using the RAID analysis supports every aspect of your program or project and should be used throughout the life cycle. To take it to another level, you can also incorporate decisions and actions to make it Radar. Below are just a few elements of how Radar analysis impacts and supports each technique within your project. Project planning, steerco, finance tracker, scope, change control, and resource planning. So let's start with risks. What is a risk? Risks are unexpected events that can affect your project. Risks can affect anything from people, processes, technology, and resources. An important distinction to remember is that risks are not the same as issues. Issues are things that are currently happening or you will know you will have to deal with, and may even have an idea of when. Risks are events that might happen, and you may not be able to tell when. When determining what a risk is, consider these 5 elements. The risk event, what might happen to affect your project, the time frame, when is it likely to happen, probability, what are the chances of it happening, impact, what's the expected outcome, and factors, what events might forewarn or trigger the risk event. Let's have a look at assumptions. So what is an assumption? An assumption is a project factor that is considered to be true, real, or certain without proof or demonstration. Technically, it's impossible to plan a project without making a few assumptions. The key is knowing how to spot assumptions and putting safeguards in place so that if an assumption is proven false, the impact on the project delivery will be minimal. It's important to note that every project assumption poses a potential risk. This is why assumption analysis is such a critical component of risk management planning, and why every program or project manager should understand how to properly assess, document, and communicate assumptions when planning. A few examples of assumptions are: you'll have access to all the resources you need to complete the project, both human and material. The project team will have the resources they need to complete their individual tasks on time, from specific equipment and software to electricity during working hours. Personal costs will not change during the project lifecycle. Other material and resource costs will remain consistent throughout the project. The overall cost of day-to-day operations will not increase. All equipment will be working condition through the project lifecycle, and the scope of the project will not change throughout the lifecycle. Let's have a quick look at issues. So what is an issue? An issue is something that happened or is inevitable. It is key to call these issues out in the correct forms to ensure all are aware of the impact. Unavoidable issues may be key resources leaving the business on a set date, confirmation that the budgets are reducing, or high spike in holiday seasons. These are unavoidable, and you are specifically aware of when they're going to happen. Let's have a look at dependencies. So what is a dependency? A dependency refers to a series of tasks that are interrelated. There are several different types of dependencies in project management. There's finish to start, where task B cannot start until task A is completed. Start to start, so that's where task B cannot start until task A starts. Finish to finish, so task A cannot be completed until task B is completed. Or start to finish, where task B cannot be completed until task A starts. This means that tasks can have varying relationships to one another depending on the task or project phase. Unlike tasks that are independent of one another, i.e., where they are not interconnected and do not share resources, finish to start task dependencies, for example, describe a sequence of activities where one task must be completed before another begins. A good example of finish to start tasks might be needing to let a cake cool before icing. Another type of dependency is finish to finish dependencies, where one task must be completed before another can also be completed. Another good example of this is a house sale being completed once property inspections have been completed. Now we move on to decisions and actions. So what is a decision? Well, a decision is that. It is a decision that has been made and needs to be logged. These could be made in project meetings, program boards, steering committees, etc. These could be based on project planning, scope, benefits, technical design, or finances. Whatever the decision, it'll just need to go through the relevant sign-off before being logged. And then actions. So actions will be raised in a variety of meetings, but it's key to ensure that these are captured in a tracker and logged through to completion. I hope you've enjoyed this short, high-level overview of RADAR management. For lots more information and for a variety of free templates, please go to our website at mmlproco.com. I'm William Newbury. Thank you for watching, and this is MML.